Learn how to go from unknown to well known so you can be seen as an expert, establish trust and authority, set yourself apart from your competitors, and get paid more for your expertise. I'm Priya Florence Shah, award winning publisher, author, podcaster, and online branding consultant. In this channel, you learn how to create a personal brand that outlasts the next social media or search engine algorithm update. Sign up for my free personal branding course at blogbrandz.in. Today I'm interviewing Aakash Anand. Aakash is the founder and CEO of India's fastest growing natural skincare brand, Bella Vita Organic. He's a graduate from Northumbria University in MBA marketing, and he was associated with Qdesq as the head of business and expansion. Prior to that, he was heading India's largest channel partner network in the real estate space, SquareConnect or Square Yards. Bella Vita Organic or The Good Life was originally founded by a mother and daughter duo, Mrs. Anju Anand and Miss Aashima Anand, and they have dedicatedly brought into being handcrafted and organic beauty solutions inspired by the natural elements of the earth and ancient beauty practices. At an initial stage, the products were made at home until a manufacturing unit was established in 2017, and Aakash joined Bella Vita Organic in July 2018. And eventually, the retail front online was brought into being. The brand aims to bring organic, cruelty free, chemical free products and services into being and revive an age old natural way of life inspired by the most beautiful, unadulterated, and holistic natural elements of the earth. So, did I get that right, Akash?
Absolutely. That was
Okay.
bang on.
I love that. I love that your description of your brand, because that is something I am so passionate about myself. I was in the environmental field earlier, and then I started publishing this Nari.com, and there we feature cruelty free brands and sustainable brands. So our focus is on that. Whenever we feature brand or whenever we do a brand sponsorship or partnership, we focus on that they are sustainable and that they are cruelty free, so I'm very passionate about that myself. So
Great.
really like that. So tell me something about yourself and your journey, and how did you get into this entrepreneurship?
So Florence, into entrepreneurship, I've been doing that since I finished my college. Back in the day, during my bachelor's, I was the head of the entrepreneur club in my University of Wolverhampton, which is in Birmingham, UK. That's how it all started. And used to do two jobs at that time and run a small startup of my own in the UK as well. So I
Yeah.
started by training people on how to sell.
Okay.
Sky TV, which is Tata Sky right now, was Sky TV in the UK. So
Right.
my first venture was I started a small consultancy firm where I was training new recruits by Sky TV into how to sell door to door. That's
Okay.
where it's all started. Then I came back to India after finishing my MBA from Northumbria, UK. Got into 2-3 partnerships, started into my advertising field, got experience there, came into real estate, did a startup, got that funded. Then I sold that startup to a company called Square Yards, joined them as a VP, great experience. And the biggest entrepreneurship venture of my life has to be Bella Vita Organic. So, while I was doing my own things, I remember my mother and my sister, they started a salon back in 2012. It was called Bella Vita Organic Salon that time.
Oh,
And they used to do
okay.
yeah. So they were into homemade treatments. So ladies would come in for a hair mask and they do a quick egg and a yogurt, so dahi. So they do an egg and a yogurt combo and they just apply it on their hair and leave it on and then blow dry it and wash it. Um, Around 2017, they got hold of a manufacturer in Hyderabad who started giving them organic and natural gels and creams and hair treatments. God was kind. Lucky enough, what started happening was a lot of ladies who were coming in the salon started asking my mother and my sister for, packaged products. So they were like, the hair mask is brilliant. Can you please pack about 200 grams of it? And they started taking these plastic boxes and just putting them in these boxes and give it to them for, just the production cost. That's when I stepped in and I said, if there's such a demand, then why don't we actually start retailing these products
Yeah.
under our own brand name? And since they were running a traditional business, they had no idea of online. And that's where I came into the picture, where I've got an experience of marketing and sales and how to take brands online and, how to build brands. That's when we actually started retailing products, into proper packaging. We got inspired by a lot of famous brands which are already there did our packaging ourselves, procured containers to start with, and that's how the journey began. And now, I'm proud to say we're one of the top 10, you can say, natural companies, wellness product companies in India, and we
Okay.
enjoy a great ride.
Wow, that's great. Do you all retail
Yeah.
on Amazon and other retailers?
So we retail on every platform available globally. From Amazon India to Amazon UK, Amazon America, our own website, Flipkart, Nykaa, Purple, you name it, we're there.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So
Great.
online being
Good to know
dominant,
that.
the dominant point of sale.
Right, right. Great to know that. Because
Hmm.
I was not really familiar with the brand. I've never used it. That probably because of that.
Okay.
Because I try out all sorts of products as being a woman.
So I think you'll receive a big bag of goodies soon.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Uh,
That's really sweet. So how have you gone about building not only the brand but also your personal brand in India, in terms of
so
being an entrepreneur and
So very honestly, I'm a bit of a shy guy. I've never been out there in media talking about myself or writing about myself or introducing myself to various journalists. It's only now that the brand has grown little. We've got people in the company who are managing our PR, and they started growing me as the face of the company as well, because all the ideas of new product developments are I'm the one who is behind them.
right.
So apart from growing the brand through various channels and talking about them, that's what I've started doing now. So I think you must be the third, the fourth person in media who I'm actually speaking to, and we started doing this. And well enough, we've got about 20, 25 interviews lined up over the next 15, 20 days, to actually build my brand and tell my story in this environment.
That's awesome. Great. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a great initiative because that's how you get the word out, right? Not only about
exactly.
your brand, but about yourself and your goals and your mission and whatever
Yeah.
you're aiming to do. So, what are the besides these online your these are these interviews, right? You're doing. Do you have anything other things planned? What has worked for you so far? When it comes to building a
Yes,
brand.
I do. So we've recently hired this company who's building my own website by my name, akashanand.in. That's a domain we've been able to get. And my main aim in that is I want to be speaking to a lot of young entrepreneurs and telling them that, so coming straight to the point, right? 99% of the entrepreneurs you'll meet in today's world just have one dream and one vision. Okay, I want to launch something, I want to get it funded, and I want to enjoy my life, right? And that's the myth that I want to break. So I've been in a position where I've had an organization, I had a startup, got it funded, sold it to a company, made a lot of money. But trust me, the fun that you have and the value that you achieve by running your own company in a bootstrap way and making it profitable is far better than getting a investor on board. And that's one myth I want to break for all the young entrepreneurs who feel that achieving a fund is achieving nirvana. But
Oh,
what they don't understand is getting funded is actually where hell breaks loose for you.
yeah,
And
right.
the biggest problem for this is that if an investor invests in your company, more than you focusing on your work, on development, on innovation, you're only focused towards creating graphs, Excels, forecasting, expenses, and that's where 90% of the time goes away. And that's why a lot of great companies, who were doing really well and a quick growth was happening before they got funded, actually lose a plot. Because then the company does not get run by you, but it gets run
Mm,
by the people who are controlling it.
true.
So
Yeah.
that's my vision. So with once my website comes on, I think I'll be available every day from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. about 3 to 4 times a week, talking to entrepreneurs, telling them that guys, funding is not everything. Grow your company like your father or your grandfather would have grown back in the day. Imagine it's a shop, right? Just because you're online doesn't change anything. Imagine you're running a shop. It's all about getting your customers in it, treating them well, and managing your expenses and making ends meet. That's how the journey should be.
I can see a book topic coming up in my head for you
Uh,
because I'm
so I
I'm
think
an author, so I'm always thinking of
uh,
new topics. So I can see that you've got a
I
book
mean,
in your
I've
future.
got, I'm just lazy to write, but I've got plenty of material if you'd ever want to do it. I'd be
There's,
more
there
than
are
happy.
there are ghostwriters who can do it for you, so I can put you in touch with them, no problem.
Awesome.
So
Great.
that's not an issue. But I can just see this idea because this is like a
Uh,
contrarian idea, right? Because everyone thinks that, like you said, funding is the holy grail of of
Correct.
entrepreneurship, which and you're taking the contrarian view. So I love that. And I think that's an amazing topic for a book and a podcast. You should start
Yep.
your own podcast, of course, and your
Great.
book. And yeah, that can be your platform, on which you build your brand.
And trust me, Florence, out of the 10 companies, out of the top 10 companies that we come under, 8 of them are funded and two of them are not. And, we are one of them. And every day I get at least 2 or 3 messages in my LinkedIn by maybe a small time venture capitalist, an angel investor, a big VC saying, you know what, please send us your pitch deck. And my reply to them, and I'll send you some screenshots as well, is very simple. I say, hey, I'd love to send you a pitch deck, but the amount of time is going to take me to prepare a pitch deck and the graphs and the forecasting for you, I'd be able to launch 4 products in that time. And that's my
Okay.
reply to them, because taking someone else's
Okay.
money just to grow yourself and enjoy the luxuries is never the route, never the end game.
I agree actually, because I've been bootstrapped for the longest time, and I'm okay chugging along, but I
Uh,
would like to grow, but I don't really want to. I'm not sure funding is the right option for me, and you've kind of put the button on, like put your finger on the button
hmm,
as far as that is concerned.
hmm,
So
hmm.
I think if you write a book about that, I'm going to read it, and and also I'm going to watch your podcast if you come up with one. But great tips,
Awesome.
those are awesome tips, because I think young people need to hear that, and they need to know
Exactly.
that they can build a bootstrap enterprise, enterprise, and do a good job of it, like you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's in the future for Bella Vita?
So Bella Vita Organic, we've taken a very different path. Where all our competitors are focusing on selling shampoos, selling face washes, we do very niche, concern relevant products. So our motto of our brand is very simple. We say if you've got dark circles, don't hide it with a concealer. Use a product, use it regularly for 4 weeks, improve your diet plan, improve your sleep, and make yourself look good with the hashtag no makeup look. And
That's
with Bella
nice.
Vita, that's
Yeah.
what, yeah, with Bella Vita Organic, that's what we're doing. So a product like Nicolips that we launched about a year and a half back, and we are beating big companies like Nivea, Himalaya. So we're the best sellers. We actually beat them in sales online. And the whole reason for that is where we say that we're not telling you to wear a lipstick and hide your stains. We're telling you to actually use a natural product and clear it off. And that's what we're doing. Is we're doing concern relevant products which make you look good and are good for your skin as well. And the whole plethora of products we've got are focused towards looking good naturally, and that's how
Yeah,
we are placing the
I love
future
that.
as well.
I love that, because
Yeah.
I don't wear makeup, and even today, like on my
Huh,
podcast also, I don't wear makeup or anything.
huh,
I put a little moisturizer, because in Pune it's a little cold, and dry.
huh,
So that's
huh.
all I need basically. But I love that approach, because women need to embrace their natural beauty, right? And
Exactly.
that's something we promote greatly on nari.com, and I promote that on my
Hmm,
social media as well, that we need to embrace the natural beauty, and give up all these the chemical products which are actually harmful, and they have a lot of harmful chemicals that we have no clue about, because we don't read the labels and
correct.
stuff. So
Correct.
I mean that they have an option, and of course the whole shift is towards natural products today. That's why, of
Yes.
course, you all are doing really well, because people don't want to buy the Niveas and the chemical stuff, and use that. I'm always looking for vegan natural products when I'm
Hmm,
reading on the stuff on Amazon. It has to be cruelty
hmm.
free or vegan or something like that. So then I buy
Absolutely.
it. You know, so I have certain favorite products. Like, but I'm gonna try out
Hmm.
Bella Vita definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make sure that our team sends you a few samples for you to try.
Yeah, sure. I love that. So, now tell me a little bit about what your plans are. I mean, building a personal brand. Of course, like I was suggesting, you should write a book. Yes, because you got a
I
great
think
point
I'm
of
gonna get
view.
in touch with you soon for some ghostwriters, and I
You
think that's gonna be a great story.
Yeah, you've got a great point of view, and that's a very like I said, it's a very contrarian, and it's a contrary point of view, and people love that. That makes people think, and that
But
opens up
Florence,
their
tell me
mind.
something. Do you really feel that today's audience and today's young generation actually ends up reading books? Don't you think they're more inclined towards
Videos.
listening to podcasts or watching a YouTube video
All
with someone's
you
testimony?
should have all, because you should be on all platforms, not only a book. You should have a podcast, you should have a YouTube channel, so you should be
Mhm.
on all platforms, like Gary Vee, of course, Gary Vee, and is the one of the, like, the biggest personal brands around, like when it comes to entrepreneurs. But um,
Okay.
you should be on all the platforms that you can be on. Don't necessarily be on platforms that your audience is not on. You don't have to cater to those platforms. But like you're catering to young entrepreneurs, so of course you should be on LinkedIn, right? Then if you're
Uh,
catering to young people for your products, you should be on everything, on Facebook, Instagram, everything, right? If you're selling Bella Vita and you're talking about Bella Vita and you're talking about organic products, you should be on every platform.
mhm.
So
I'll take you up on that.
it depends on your audience. It depends where your audience is, and you have to spend more time on the platforms where your audience is. But if you got a message for entrepreneurs, I would suggest YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Those are the major platforms for where
TikTok as well, maybe. Because
TikTok. Yes.
yes, he's all over TikTok, I believe.
Yeah. Who's all over
Yeah.
TikTok?
Uh, the guy you were talking about, I forgot his
Gary
name.
V.
Carvey?
Gary V.
Gary V.
Gary
Yeah.
V. Gary V
Gary
is
V.
all over
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, he's big
He's
on
all over TikTok.
anything new because the fact is it's very cheap. When anything new comes out, it's very cheap and it's free to get on and
Right.
build an audience there, right? So he's all for that. I'm not necessarily into that because it takes time. It takes time and effort to create content for each platform, content specific for each platform. So I try to focus my efforts where I think I will get the best return, kind of return. So you have to think of that
Fair.
also. You have to think of that. But if you have a team, then you can focus on a bunch of platforms and get it, be everywhere. So
I think that's what we're doing. We've hired some more people now. With Divya's leadership, I think he was in touch with you as well. And now she's getting people who will be talking more about the brand on different platforms and building me as a brand, building my sister as a brand, building the brand in itself, of course.
yeah, the people behind that, like your sister and your mom, that would be really wonderful to hear their story and
Yeah.
get the backstory of Bella Vita and the brand and all, and put that up somewhere. So that would be very interesting to read also.
Hmm.
So great talking to you. I mean, if you want, we can go on for a little longer.
I'm game for it. Anything you say.
Yeah, I mean, let me know anything that you have to share on your journey because you've had a very interesting journey. So if you have any tips for young people, when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing themselves, just hold on a second. Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you have any tips for young people when it comes to running who are starting out, young
Hmm.
entrepreneurs just getting started, how do they build their
Hmm.
personal brand? How do they get not only personal brand? How do they build their company brand? And other two, the two are interlinked, of course. But
Right.
what what uh, what advice would you give them?
So the only advice that I to give them would be two advices. One would be honesty. That means truth. Whatever you're selling, whatever you're developing, make sure you're very truthful about it. I see. So I fund a lot of companies myself as well. I'm an angel investor now, with people who just need a very small funding from 20, 25, 30 or lakh rupees just to get them started. The biggest problem I see with them today's date, they're not really honest about what they're building. So, for example, if someone is building a tech platform, um, if they have to build it 100%, the moment they reach a 40% build, they claim they've done the job, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's something which comes and bites them, right, in times to come. That's one. So you've got to be very, very truthful about what you're building, where you're at, what is the traction in it. You cannot be making up numbers, just to get in the investors' rooms. So yeah, I've got a lot of people who end up getting appointments and meetings with a lot of VCs. But once they start pitching to them, and once the VCs actually, before they invest, they see your numbers, they see your build, that's when they realize, no, the guy's been lying to them. And that's where they lose their personal credibility. So one bitter experience, one lie lasts you for the lifetime. And
Yeah.
that's something where they should be doing. So they should be very honest about where they are at. And that's what people appreciate. The second one is patience. The biggest problem with entrepreneurs today is they want to do everything quick. Product banana hai, kal chahiye. Build banani hai, kal chahiye. They develop a tech platform with hundreds of glitches just because they want to win the race. But what they don't understand is something which is built with patience, with the correct time. You can have a baby in 9 months. You can't do it in 6 months, right? So something which has to have a gestation period should be done that way. It should be done right. You do something right for the first time, it lasts you a lifetime. As I said, you do something in a short term, you'll have to, once you've built it, you'll have to go back, revise it, put in triple the amount of money. And that's where investors, potential investors, even your customers lose trust. And
Right.
that's what I've seen with a lot of brands in skincare as well. I've seen so many companies who just launched a product. They'll just lie blatantly about what the product does. And once it's picked some traction, they'll stop the product, go back, try to redevelop it. And once they've actually done a good job redeveloping it, the sales are lost. The customer
Oh,
trust is gone.
right,
So
right,
people have to be patient. So, companies like us, we take 6 months, 8 months, a year to test out products, look at their efficacy, and then actually launch them in the market.
right,
And
right.
so, patience and honesty is the key to any entrepreneur, any startup, anyone who wants to grow in life in the right way.
So have integrity and have patience, right? So those are
Absolutely.
those are
The
two
two
things
things.
that they need to remember. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's great. That's awesome advice for anyone who's in business. Not just starting out, but even at any
Hmm.
stage of business, I guess, right?
Any stage.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how seeing what you put out in the future and keeping it.
Hmm.
I'll be in touch. I would love to try out your products and maybe recommend them also to others. So
Sure.
yeah, I'll just stop the recording right.
If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to my channel and sign up for my free personal branding course at blogbrands.in. Download my free Creating Brand New ebook on Amazon Kindle.